What if I told you Tim Curry is getting a bigger role in a slasher universe? One of horror's most untouchable cult classics is getting remade, and Adam Wingard just unleashed genetically engineered super soldiers into a horror movie. What's good, horror fam? I'm Travis, and this is The Final Cut, your daily pulse in horror. Today, we've got a major update for fans of Tim Curry, a surprising blessing for one of the most controversial horror remakes currently in development, and our first real look at Adam Wingard's latest action horror nightmare. Let's get into it. One of horror's most beloved icons is coming back. According to Variety, Tim Curry is returning in an expanded role for Scream 2 Sudden Death. If you missed the first Scream, it mixed classic slasher elements, practical gore, and modern themes involving social media, technology, and voyeurism. The film developed a strong following after landing on streaming platforms like Tubi and Prime Video. And while Curry only appeared briefly in the original film, director Michael Levy says that appearance was always intended to be the beginning of something much larger. The sequel is bringing back David Howard Thornton from Terrifier, Damien Maffei from The Strangers Prey at Night, and perhaps most interestingly, original Art the Clown actor Mike Gianelli. He's coming out of retirement to join the project. For horror fans, seeing Tim Curry continue to appear in genre films is always special. This is a man whose legacy stretches from Rocky Horror Picture Show to Clue to Congo, and of course, our Pennywise in my generation of Stephen King's It. The question now becomes whether Scream can evolve from cult favorite into a larger horror franchise. So, my question for you, would you like to see Tim Curry return to horror in even bigger roles moving forward? Let me know your answers in the comments ahead. Let's go, Tim Curry.
Finished my last horror game. Nothing left to play. Then I found Fanatical. Insane deals on games every day. Link in bio.
Let's talk about one of the most intimidating horror remakes imaginable. You guys always see the Smile poster. That was, I think, from Smile 2 or the first one. It was the first one at the world premiere down at Fantastic Fest. So Parker Finn in the house, the filmmaker behind Smile, is currently developing a remake of Possession. For many horror fans, that's sacred ground. I mean, you guys have probably seen comments and stuff online now. People really do not want this remade. The original 1981 film from Andrzej Zulawski remains one of the most disturbing and emotionally devastating psychological horror films ever made. At the center of that film was Isabelle Adjani's unforgettable performance. Now, Margaret Qualley and Callum Turner, you guys gotta check out Rose of Nevada, are stepping into those iconic roles. And surprisingly, Adjani herself seems fully supported. During Cannes, Adjani said that Qualley is incredibly talented and even joked that Margaret once told her she resembled Adjani more than her own mother. Adjani acknowledged that Possession has become a cult classic, but ultimately said, why not, when discussing the remake. That's about as close to an endorsement as horror fans could hope for. The challenge for Parker Finn won't be recreating Possession. That would be impossible. The challenge will be creating something that captures the emotional chaos, grief, and psychological collapse that made the original so unforgettable. So, my question for you guys, do you think Possession is a film that should be remade, or should some horror classics remain untouched? If you've been a long reader and follower of Horror Movies Uncut, you should know what my status has always been about remakes. They gonna come out anyway, just make them good. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments ahead.
Streaming had nothing worth watching. Then GRUV showed up. New Blu-rays, new steelbooks, physical media I actually own. Link in bio.
Finally, today we got our first look at Onslaught, unless possibly you saw the trailer for this at Backrooms over the weekend. And this thing looks like pure Adam Wingard chaos. The film stars Adria Arjona as a former army sniper forced to protect her daughter after genetically engineered super soldiers escape into the desert. Yes, you've heard that correct. Universal Soldier, where you at? Those movies are underrated, fam. And I know Adam and Simon. Look, I'll see y'all soon. And I'm not even gonna say anything. Genetically engineered super soldiers. The trailer blends military action, creature feature energy, survival horror, and the kind of over-the-top violence Wingard fans have come to expect. Wingard and Simon Barrett first made waves together with films like You're Next, shot right up the road in Colombia, and The Guest, before Wingard moved into larger projects including Godzilla vs. Kong. Now he's bringing that big-scale action sensibility back into horror, and the cast is stacked. You got Rebecca Hall, of course, Dan Stevens, got to be somewhere in the mix, Michael Biehn, Reginald VelJohnson, super happy to see him in this, Drew Starkley, and even UFC champion Alex Poatan Pereira is in the film, right? You know what I'm saying? What stands out most is that Onslaught doesn't appear interested in subtly. This thing looks loud, brutal, fast, and unapologetically fun. And honestly, sometimes horror needs exactly that. Based on the trailer, Onslaught feels like it could become one of the wildest genre releases of the year. So my question for you is, are you excited for Onslaught? Or do you prefer your horror a little more grounded? Let me know your answers in the comments ahead. Today's take. Try not to touch my nose because it's one of the reasons why I don't do live, because for some reason, even as a kid, whenever I talk, I have to touch my nose. I don't know where I got that from, but it is what it is, okay? But one thing I've noticed recently is how diverse horror has become. Yesterday, we were talking about psychosexual thrillers and Korean zombie films. Today, we're talking about slasher sequels, art house psychological horror, and genetically engineered super soldiers. What, no Fatal Fest? That's one of the reasons horror continues outperforming expectations. There isn't just one version of horror anymore. There's a horror movie for almost everyone, including pro wrestlers. I just got finished watching Vinny Pacifico's wrestling film. Wow. And that's helping create one of the strongest eras the genre has seen in decades. So, our Spotify poll question: which story interests you the most? Tim Curry's expanded role in Scream 2, The Possession remake, or Adam Wingard's Onslaught? Vote now and let us know. And if you got a horror tip, trailer, indie project, or breaking story we should be covering, send us a DM over at HMUNCUT. You might get your story featured on a future episode. That's going to do it for today's episode of The Final Cut, your daily post in horror. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you're following, liking, subscribing, sharing, and telling your horror-loving friends where they can find us. Hey, big shout out to every single one of you guys, man. The numbers are getting amazing on the show. So I really appreciate you guys spreading the word. Really appreciate you guys talking about it. You can talk in the comments a little bit more, man. I'm not going to show up at y'all house. I know some of y'all think he's a big scary dude. And yeah, I'm 6'3", 215 pounds. That's right. But I love to interact with you guys. So please don't hesitate to put comments. Don't forget to follow Horror Movies Uncut at HMUNCUT.com. That's the OG website where the reviews and interviews and news gets posted daily. Follow us on the socials at HMUNCUT. I'm Travis. We'll be back tomorrow. More updates, more headlines as we keep rolling in June. Don't forget, Friday is your boy's birthday. Until then, you know the drill. Keep the lights on.
Want real horror coverage? Horror Movies Uncut. Smartest reviews, best interviews, no fluff. HMUncut.com.